Hello, hello, hello. Welcome or welcome back. Today it's real simple. I just want to paint some rabbits in gouache and chill out. Grab a beverage of your choice. I'm sipping on some matcha. My friend Julia gave me the matcha bug. Grab a drink of your choice and let's have a nice time. So I wanted to do some really rough, quick, loose, all of those words, rabbit sketches in my regular sketchbook just to warm up a little bit. I find this is really helpful to shake off the rust, the dust, and just get ready to create, you know? So this is just my Royal Talon sketchbook, and this is a pink Pilot Eno pencil, mechanical pencil. I will have them linked below. So the reason I wanted to make this video is because I kind of had a realization that time is really flying by and I feel like I'm not really experiencing it. I feel like I haven't been very mindful this year. I've just been in autopilot almost, and now that my move is coming up, I'm moving to another province, another city, I just realized I need to take a breath. I need to learn how to take a breather. So we're going to be talking about that a little bit today. Okay, so here I am. I'm going to start painting with gouache, and this is an Etcher Perfect sketchbook. Etcher sent me a few sketchbooks, so I'm just showing them here. And I've been kind of nervous to use them because they are so lovely. Look at this one with the deckled edges. Oh, and this little tiny 3-inch one. I need you guys to give me suggestions on what to do with this one. I believe this is Fabriano paper in here. It's hot press, 100% cotton, 300 GSM. I don't normally treat myself to painting on such nice paper, but I have to shake off the fear of using nice supplies. Okay, so as I paint this first rabbit, you can see I'm just building it up with little blocky, tiley brush strokes. So yes, I wanted to talk about learning how to basically chill the F out and just take moments to be mindful and breathe and just be aware of my surroundings and the time passing. And I also want to find joy in life and work, and it's hard to do that when you're stuck in autopilot. Autopilot also isn't a headspace where you can get excited, and I want to get excited about my work. And I feel like just recently I've realized how important rest is for work. And I knew that before, but I wasn't really putting it into practice. But to be able to get excited, to be able to keep the spark alive, so to speak, you have to rest. You have to protect that spark. So yeah, recently I've been trying to really focus on what will take care of that spark. So, for example, I've been really wanting to paint some gouache rabbits. So I said, you know what? Let's paint some gouache rabbits. It was a very relaxing experience, and I was rewatching Spirited Away while painting these, and I think that is important context. So even though this was sort of work, I'm filming it, I'm making a video on it, it was a form of rest and relaxation for me. And I've also been trying to take some moments throughout the day, some quiet moments, just to take some deep breaths and acknowledge where I am and the things around me. How does my desk feel? How does my chair feel under my body? This sounds really silly, but just trying to break out of autopilot. And with this new mindset, I've been feeling very excited about my work. I've been really wanting to improve my videos, maybe with a little more storytelling, more interesting camera shots, and not anything drastically different, still me, just maybe a little bit more elevated. I've been thinking about possibly integrating some more vlog type stuff in between the art stuff. I don't know if you guys are into that. I'm just feeling really excited and motivated to learn more about creating videos. I did recently upgrade my camera, and it's really inspired me to do more with my videos. And I don't just feel this way about my videos either, about my entire business. I just feel really motivated to improve. So I'm just finishing up this first rabbit here, and I just really love seeing it start to pop off the page when I add the lightest lights. So much fun adding the highlights, adding little whisker shapes, trying not to go crazy with the details. And yeah, I was really happy with this first rabbit. Okay, before we continue, I'd like to take a quick moment to thank the sponsor of today's video. So I'm going to send you over to Past Emily really quick. Pew. Hello. So speaking of elevating my video and my business, I would like to thank the sponsor of today's video, Kiddle. Boo, boo, boo. Kiddle is a browser-based design platform that combines pro-level tools like advanced text effects, vector editing, pen tool, and shape builder. With an intuitive workflow and ready-to-use templates, you can create digital or print-ready designs in minutes. This is sort of a side note, but my mom actually loves Kiddle. She is an avid Kiddle user, so she was really excited about this sponsorship. She likes to design custom shirts and mugs, and recently she created these matching mugs with her cousins. They were super cute, and she made them with Kiddle. And for me, though I'd like to think, an artistic brain, I really struggle with graphic and font design. I seriously have no idea how to pair fonts together in a way that looks good. Kiddle has a huge font library, and all of their fonts are so nice. I've discovered so many new fonts that I love. So I like to scroll through the template gallery and find really cool font combos that I can steal and use. And like I said, Kiddle makes it super easy to turn your art or designs into merch. You can open up the right size template and export it in the right format in DPI for any print or print on demand service. So you can go off and get it printed and know that it will look good. And because there are vector, pixel, and layout tools all in one place, you can really create anything you could possibly need for your business, both digital and print. It's got it all, and it's user-friendly. I can do it. Anyone can do it. Your uncle can start creating t-shirts. Yes, he can. With Kiddle, he can do it. Is that a good thing? I don't know. And I'm happy to say that if you are new to Kiddle, you can use the code MHughesArtYT to get 25% off on all Kiddle plans, including their annual plan. Follow the link in the description box to let them know that I sent you there. Thank you guys, and thank you so much, Kiddle, and let's get back to painting. And on to the second rabbit. I've been really enjoying doing these sort of watercolor washy effects at the start of my gouache painting. Still using gouache, just super watered down. And I really like this mop brush from my subscription boxes for this purpose. And this rabbit with no feet, this little loaf, was a little bit of a challenge for me. I don't know why. I just struggled with this guy. I had to keep layering for a while before I got to a point that I was satisfied with, and even then, he's not my favorite, but there's still parts I really like about him, so I don't know, let me know what you think. Once again, starting with the darks and placing little tiles of color to sort of build up the bunny rabbit like he's a little puzzle. So back to what I was talking about before, about just trying to chill out a little bit. I think moving forward, I'm going to have sort of a create first, post second kind of mentality. And by that I mean just creating for the sake of creating, not necessarily with the intention of posting it or feeling like it has to be posted. And this applies to Instagram and YouTube. I can, of course, film the process, and if something magic happens, it can become a video, even if the art doesn't turn out, if there's something to be shared, then I would of course share it. But yeah, I'd rather not think about it as I have to make a video, so I've got to figure out something to make for said video, if that makes sense. Instead, I want to follow the inspiration, follow the spark, and the content, the videos, the Instagram posts can follow. And of course, if inspiration strikes and there's something I really want to make a video on, or if there's a topic that I know that you guys would really appreciate, then of course I can set out with the intention to make that video. But I've just been thinking, if I want to create more finished work and if I want to become the artist that I hope to become, then I need to put my creations first before thinking about content. And that's going to be a tricky balance, because the content, and I hate the word content, but the content does pay the bills. It does put food on the plate. So here this rabbit is starting to come together. I think the trickiest part for me in these paintings are the ears, and I find they look best when they've been painted in just a few strokes. So that's where these ears started to go wrong. I just overworked them a little bit. I didn't get them quite right on the first go. And of course, there is some anxiety around putting yourself out there, marketing yourself. People don't always like to be marketed to, which I understand. So there's definitely a balance to be found with putting yourself out there, marketing yourself, and creating content in order to put food on the table and in the dog bowl. And of course, my dog has to eat the special, expensive dietary food, because of course she does. Of course she does. But speaking of the anxiety about putting yourself out there, something kind of strange is that I think starting a YouTube channel actually cured my anxiety in a lot of ways. I guess cured isn't the right word to use, but it definitely helped my anxiety a lot. And I've been thinking about making a video about that. It would be pretty vulnerable, I think, so I'm not sure, but maybe it would help other anxious beings, and in that case, it would be totally worth it. Okay, so this third rabbit I just adored. Love this guy, love how the painting turned out. I took a slightly different approach. I did this warm underpainting, and then I started with the cool tones in the painting, so placing down where I see blues and violets, purples, that sort of thing, before placing the darkest darks, because I really wanted these cool colors to pop and not be muddied by the darks on the rabbit, if that makes sense. And I think I specifically took this approach because of the rabbit's coloring. He has this really wonderful stripe on his back, like not blotchy. Patchy and blotchy they don't sound good. Spots. I think spots is a better word to use. He has a sort of band stripe of spots down his back. Very cute. And he's got these dark ears. The contrast of the darker markings with the white fur, love it. And I felt like there was also some reddishness in the darker patches, which I think looked really good with the cooler hues on the white fur. I was just really happy with how this guy came out. So as fall has arrived and the approaching colder weather, I feel that cozy pull, that desire to bundle up and stay inside. That feeling is coming on, but we're still getting some nice weather here, so I have to remind myself to enjoy the nice weather while it's here, because I know there are going to be plenty of cold days ahead, especially after I move in November. But as I was talking about resting to keep the spark alive, to stay inspired and motivated, I've just been finding that so valuable recently. You really can't underestimate the power of lighting a candle and watching a movie, getting cozy, making a snack, especially a spooky movie. That's my preference, but cannot be underestimated. I'm really trying to harness the power of rest and calm, because I think I'm coming to terms with the fact that I might be a little bit frantic. I might be a frantic individual. My Myers-Briggs personality is INFP-T, and the T stands for turbulent, which is not good. I think there's no upside to being turbulent over, what's the other one? A? Is A assertive? So as a tested, turbulent, frantic person, I'm trying to harness the calm, and if any of you guys feel similarly, let me know. Let me know that I'm not alone. I've gone through periods of my life where I practice mindfulness and then where I don't practice mindfulness, and I think for a long time recently I was not practicing mindfulness. I was just, go, go, go. I don't have time for that sort of thing. But what I've found recently is that actually makes getting things done a lot harder, because your brain is just full of muck and it's just overcrowded, and it's a lot harder to get things done. So I guess the lesson is, and a lot of you probably already know this, but I bet most of you aren't practicing it, and that is the power of rest. And also doing things that bring you joy, doing things that spark joy, in the words of Marie Kondo. So where I'm at right now is staying calm, but also allowing myself to get excited about things. So yeah, I think that is all I have to say about that. If you made it all the way through my rambles, thank you for sticking around. I don't know if people are interested in these super chatty, rambly videos, but I'm interested to see. I really love the pose of this final rabbit, and in this one I started with the midtones and then went into the darkest darks and then the highlights, and I've been really interested in exploring brush texture more and sometimes allowing a drier brush, a bristlier look to show through, but also balancing that or contrasting that with some really nice smooth chunks of color. Together, I think you can get a really interesting painting. So I've been exploring that a little bit. You can see I used the bristly effect a little bit on the fur. So yes, this is how all of the rabbits turned out. I had a really lovely time painting these. As always, a big thank you to my channel members and my patrons over on Patreon. Your support truly means the world to me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And let me know if you are also a frantic person. And what do you do to unwind? What brings you joy? Let me know. I would really, really love to hear it. And with that, I will see you all very, very soon in another video. Bye-bye.